spirit manner. In a few moments, our graduates will be entering the auditorium. This is a very special and solemn moment for our graduates, so I ask that all of you please show your respect for them by remaining silent for the entrance processions. Also, please take a moment now to salute your stalwarts. Gentlemen, please remove your hats for the duration of the ceremony. Thank you very much for your cooperation. Please stand for our academic procession.
Good evening, everyone. Would you please be seated? My name is Sandra Gerafalco. I'm a member of the Board of Trustees, and I have the privilege of being your mistress of ceremonies tonight. It is a great night. It is neither raining nor snowing, although it may be a little warm. We are gathered here to celebrate the graduating class of 2014. At this time, we ask that you silence all of your phones and refrain from texting during the course of the ceremony, or otherwise using your electronics. Thank you. I'm going to have to ask you to stand again. This is going to be an exercise night. While the St. Basil Academy Nightingales sing the national anthem, accompanied by Ms. Alexandra Mikulski. Well done, thank you. Reverend Archpriest Daniel Troyan will offer the invocation. Reverend?
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. We gather today in the name of the Holy Trinity, and in the presence of our risen Lord, we celebrate these 40 days after the resurrection. And we celebrate that joy and that love and that thanksgiving and that grace which is our God. And it highlights our graduation ceremonies as our young men and young women of Manor College accept that gift of new life, the gift of graduation, and the gift of the love of their family and their friends who share in their education, who share in their dreams, and who share in their hopes for today as well as for tomorrow. We ask God's blessings upon all of us here, and that indeed He be present, and that He give us that joy of heart, that love of freedom, that shared wisdom, and the ability to be able to offer who we are and who we can become in service to those around us, and for the good of our country, for the good of our communities, and for the good of one another. We ask this blessing in the name of Jesus Christ.
Thank you, Reverend Troyan. I am now pleased to invite Elena Yablonskaya, class of 2014, to deliver the commencement oration. Ms. Yablonskaya.
parents, family, and the ones who we are celebrating today, the graduating class of 2022. Isn't it kind of ironic how the reward for getting great grades and losing sleep to finish your homework is public speaking, the number one here in America? Most say that graduation is not the end. It is just the beginning of new goals, new opportunities, new steps, and new futures. However, I believe that every single day of your life you graduate. It is only a concept. In your lives, you graduate every day. Graduation is a process that goes on until the last day of your life. All of you students had a goal of finishing Manor College, and now you are graduating. Once finals were over, most of you probably had a goal of sleeping in. I sure did. Those who didn't sleep in, you have reached that goal and graduated from it that day. Whether we realize it or not, we make new goals every day, even if they're non-productive goals. When we make big goals, it feels so wonderful to finally accomplish them. Doesn't it feel good to know you have made it through college and have gotten the grades that put you in this room today? I would like to encourage all of you to make bigger goals, reach new heights, and stretch a little wider. I'm sure all of you want to be successful. Well, one of the 10 things that successful people do is set out to reach new goals. In doing so, you will feel empowered, motivated, and happy. And we need more happy people in this world to spread love. Maybe that will help with world peace and self-confidence. Even though today is a day filled with happiness and relief that we are getting closer to being done with our education, I can't help but feel a little sad that our time has come to an end here. I started Manor College as a business major who was timid, unmotivated, confused about the path I was taking, and I just did not want to be here. However, as I got more involved in the various clubs and organizations on campus, all those feelings went away. I started to feel like this was where I was supposed to be. My experiences here have helped me to figure out what I wanted to do in my life, and I was no longer confused about what path I was going to take. This college has helped me to develop leadership skills through the different roles I played in classes and in the clubs I'm involved with. Coming from being homeschooled in high school, I was able to develop social skills at Manor. I was an extremely shy girl at then. However, Manor has taught me to step out of my shell and speak up. Manor College has truly shaped me to be who I am today. But today is not just about the students. It's also about those who have helped us get to this point in our lives. First and foremost, I want to thank God for blessing all of us and helping us get to this day to receive our degrees. I want to thank my parents for kind of forcing me to go to Manor College. As much as I hate to admit it, you were right. It wasn't so bad. In fact, it has been the best 2 years of my life. A big thank you to our talented, loving, patient, and oh so wonderful Student Activities Director, Allison Woods. Allie, although I have a bad memory and can't remember most of the events that we planned in the past 2 years, I will never forget always sitting in your office. Those times are probably my favorite memories. The events were fun, but I loved the simplicity. Of sitting in your office and just chit-chatting with you and the other students. Also, I would like to thank Priscilla for humoring me, opening my mind to different perspectives, and for she pushing me to go for what I want. Also, thank you to my first advisor here at Manor College, Mrs. Eleanor Shirley, who was always so kind and encouraging. Actually, before she left Manor, I remember her telling me how she hopes that I become valedictorian, and here I am. Thank you for always believing in me, Ms. Shirley. Additionally, thank you to all the faculty and staff who have helped us get to this place and helped us reach success. I will definitely miss seeing all of the helpful and friendly faces that are found as I walk through the hallways, offices, and classrooms. Manor offers us two options: prepare to transfer or prepare to begin a career. Those of you who are starting your career, I wish you the best. Those of you who are transferring to a university, never forget that Manor College has helped you reach that new height. Many graduates from previous years may think of themselves as alumni of Temple, or Drexel, or LaSalle. But don't forget to credit Manor College for getting you to those universities. You are alumni of Manor College as well. Graduates, I wish you all blessings in your future endeavors. Confucius once said, "Wherever you go, go with all your heart." Congratulations, class of 2014. May God bless all of you, and may God bless Manor College.
The following musical selections will be performed by the St. Basil Academy Madrigal Singers, conducted by Sister Germaine, and Ms. Alexandra Pentalski is the accompanist. First, they will do Think of Me by Andrew Lloyd Webber, and then You Raised Me Up, arranged by Roger Emerson. I now present the St. Basil Academy Madrigal Singers. Thank you, Sister Germaine, medical singers, and Ms. Pankowski. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce Mr. Leonard Mazur, Chairman of Manor's Board of Trustees.
Thank you. It is my pleasure and Manor's pleasure to welcome this year's 2014 commencement speaker, Mr. Roman Pettit. Mr. Pettit is the son of Ukrainian immigrants who settled in Philadelphia in 1949 after surviving World War II. A very familiar path for many people in this room. Mr. Pettit grew up in Philadelphia's Ukrainian American community and was active in the Ukrainian Scouting Organization, as well as other community organizations. He's a graduate of Philadelphia Central High School and the University of Pennsylvania, where he earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in 1972 and where he majored in American Civilization. He went on to study landscape architecture and regional planning at the University of Massachusetts Amherst campus, where he earned a Master's of Landscape Architecture degree in 1977. He completed his legal studies at the Northeastern University School of Law in Boston, Massachusetts, and was awarded his Juris Doctorate degree in 1986. As an attorney in private practice, Mr. Pettit developed strong areas of expertise in real estate, construction contracting, and environmental compliance issues. In 1994, he joined the legal staff at the Office of the General Counsel at the University of Pennsylvania, where he currently serves as Associate General Counsel and is the university's transactional attorney, responsible for major commercial contracts involving Penn, particularly with regard to real estate and construction matters. The university is a nationally recognized leader in efforts to harness the economic strength and know-how of higher education institutions to promote the growth and revitalization of our country's urban centers. As Associate General Counsel, Mr. Pettit has played a key and central role in developing and implementing these programs. Mr. Pettit is an active member of the National Association of College and University Attorneys, where he is a frequent lecturer on real estate and construction topics at their conferences. He's also a founding member of the Higher Educational Real Estate Lawyers Organization. In addition to his extensive professional activities, Mr. Pettit also gives back. He values the opportunity to contribute to his community and continues to work with a number of local Ukrainian American organizations, including the Ukrainian American Cultural Center, Education and Cultural Center, the Ukrainian Community Foundation in Philadelphia, which he chairs, and Ukrainian Self-Reliance Federal Credit Union, where he serves as Vice Chairman. Please join me. Please welcome me.
Good evening, Mr. Mazur, President Krasinski, members of the administration, honored faculty, parents, and most of all graduates. The 2014 graduating class of Manor College. It is truly a pleasure to be here and to know for sure that I have not suffered the same fate as Condoleezza Rice and Christine Lagarde and others who were recently disinvited from their scheduled commencement address. Since I am here, I must assume that my own misdeeds, unlike theirs, are not yet known in the world. In any case, thank you for the opportunity to share some thoughts with you on this very special day. This is a day on which the college and our community as a whole acknowledges your efforts, your determination, and your commitment over the last 2 years. But what does all this mean? You have now earned your associate degree and are ready to either move on to completion of a 4-year program or to move into a skilled position in the workforce. I wanted very much to take the high road tonight and to strike a noble thought. But instead, I've been told by friends and colleagues that I need to warn you about what, I asked. The economy, they said. Make sure you tell them that the economy is still not fully recovered and jobs may be hard to find. Well, I thought, yes, you're right, but don't you think I should try to tell these graduates something that they don't already know? So let me share this with you instead. As an almost senior citizen who survived not only the Great Recession of 2008 and 2009, but also the recession of 2000, the recession of 1990, the recession of 1979, the recession of 1974. Yes, I really am that old. I can tell you with a good deal of confidence that these are temporary challenges. With patience and with determination, you will find meaningful work. I mean that sincerely. This ugly chapter in our economic life shall also pass. But I hope that I can leave you with more than my confident assurances that you will find a job. I say this because I truly believe that today's commencement ceremony is not merely an opportunity to encourage you to acknowledge the reality before you. To view it this way would be to miss the true significance of your experience at Manor. Remember that when you made the decision to attend Manor College, you could have readily made an alternate choice. You could have attended a public college or university, or a training institute, or other specialized program that taught you to be a paralegal or a veterinary technician, or many of the other skills that you have learned. You might have even been able to earn that certification or other credential in less time, perhaps for less money. And yet, instead, you chose a faith-based college. So I invite you to reflect with me on why you made that decision, and how this decision can make a significant difference in the way you think about who you are, about your place in the community and in the world. Having been here for 2 years, you know that Manor is about more than just technical training that makes you employable. And if you look at Manor's mission statement, it is very clear that there is more at stake here. In the mission statement, we are told that, first, Manor believes that the ideals and values of the Judeo-Christian tradition are an integral part of the human experience. So we start with ideals and values. We are also told that Manor believes that education heightens a person's self-awareness and his or her relationship to others, to the world, and to God. So we add to those ideals and values self-awareness of our relationship to others. And finally, Manor also believes that education will help generate a commitment to a peaceful world which alone can inspire confidence in the present and hope for the future. A commitment to a peaceful world and hope for the future. I believe that awareness and commitment are meaningless unless they also lead to action. So in the end, the experience of college is about finding a principled voice that reflects our values and developing confidence to make that voice heard. The values that guide education in Manor are starting. So what are those values? How does education promote those values? And how do we translate these Judeo-Christian values into that quote, self-awareness of our relationship to others and the commitment to others? I think we begin with the simple proposition that the opposite of education is ignorance, and that ignorance breeds fear, suspicion, and and misunderstanding. On the other hand, familiarity allows us to overcome fear, to develop understanding and acceptance. We all remember being scared by a sudden noise that turned out to be nothing more than a car or an animal's cry. Education is the process by which the strange and frightening becomes familiar, by which fear fades away. Education can be about ideas that are different from what we're told is meaningful truth. It can be talking to and spending time with people who speak different languages from us, or that look different from us. And hey, I'm not just talking about racial differences. Those girls with the green and pink hair, they look pretty different too. But talk to them and you find out that it's just a culture. The point is that education builds tolerance. We've been told this so often we take it for granted, but that doesn't make it any less true. We learn to grow comfortable with the diversity around us, the different races, ethnicities, religious beliefs, sexual preferences. In our shrinking world, where a child can leave Kyiv in Ukraine in the morning and arrive in Philadelphia before nightfall, where a Guatemalan peasant can find himself standing on the street corner in Philadelphia's Badlands looking for day work less than a week after leaving his village in Central America, the tolerance that education fosters is indeed crucial. So we start with tolerance, but I submit to you that tolerance, in the end, is a negative virtue. It connotes merely not rejection. The real challenge is to find through your Manor education the core Judeo-Christian value of kindness. Kindness is the heart of the message of Christianity at its best teaches us. Kindness is tolerance grown up. Grown up to embrace our shared humanity and our shared responsibility for one another. The Palestinian poet Naomi Shihadnai says it so much better than I can hope to when she describes the search to understand kindness as a seemingly endless trip on a crowded bus filled with peasants as it passes through the dusty villages of rural Mexico. In her poem, Kindness, she tells us that before you learn the tender gravity of kindness, you must travel where the Indian in white poncho lies dead by the side of the road. You must see how this could be you. How he too was someone who journeyed through the night with the plants, and the simple breath that kept him alive. Only when we recognize our shared humanity, when we see ourselves in that Indian who, like all of us, had plans, but who now lies dead by the side of the road, can we begin to find a commitment to a peaceful world which alone can inspire confidence in the present and hope for the future. Nai's Indian is clearly an immigrant, and she calls on us to see the humanity of this stranger. And in a country, our country, where 12 million of these immigrant strangers struggle to find a life, this message must resonate profoundly. Manor teaches us that our Judeo-Christian values not only define who we are, they also define how we relate to our communities. By living these values, we thrive as individuals. We build the bonds that allow our communities, our churches, our community centers, our scouting organizations to thrive as we recognize the shared humanity of those with whom we share those institutions. But this is not the end of our mission. Manor tells us that we must move beyond nurturing our values-based relationships in our community. We are told that those same Judeo-Christian values that define our relationships with other individuals must also define our relationship to our country and to the world as a whole. So how do we promote those values beyond the comfortable surrounding of our community, to the country as a whole, and indeed, to the world? That is a tall work. Today, articulating and acting on a shared set of values in the face of our ever more diverse world is perhaps the greatest challenge that we face. 50 or 100 years ago, it might have been possible to define our world as the county, the city, or perhaps the state where we lived. Citizenship was easy in a world where communities were small and tight-knit and where values were widely shared and passed on from our churches and schools. Today, the economy of the world is globally integrated and hyper-global. We meet Marco Polos, travelers from strange lands, almost daily. The internet offers an infinite source of information and ideas. The world has indeed become an incredibly exciting place where we can learn and explore new ways of living and thinking. We should not, indeed we cannot shrink from this new world, but we need also to maintain our bearings in that world. We need to make judgments informed by our education, but nevertheless based on our values. And this is where the second part of college education becomes so crucial, because just as your education promotes the tolerance and kindness that defines our individual human relationship, education also provides us with the information, the factual substantive knowledge, and the critical thinking skills to apply those core human values to the challenging issues that our country and our world faces. There are so many challenging issues that demand values-based analysis. Let me offer just a few examples. How should the values of tolerance and kindness guide our thinking about the health care needs of our poor who do not afford to pay? How should they inform our approach as a society to addressing the challenge of drug use and addiction? How can those values help us craft a responsible set of government policies to address climate change and air and water pollution? We want to respond with values-based answers to all of these challenges, but without a factual context, values alone cannot provide us with meaningful options. Education gives us the tools to superimpose on those values the knowledge that allows us to identify thoughtful policies and thoughtful answers that can make a difference. So, when I told you at the beginning that there was more to a Manor college education than getting a job, this is what I was talking about. Your Manor education, indeed, and more important, is also, and indeed more importantly, about encouraging each of you to develop a set of values and the critical thinking skills needed to participate in the civic life of our community. There is a name for this. It's called citizenship. And it is a job all of us need to expressly acknowledge and accept. Citizenship is a responsibility that is far too easy to neglect. It offers no paycheck at the end of the month. It eats into the time we have to chill and hang out with friends, and it demands constant learning as we struggle to make judgments about the future that we wish to create for ourselves and for future generations. And in the end, citizenship demands getting back. Citizenship is so much more than showing up at some schoolhouse or American Legion Hall in early November and casting a vote for a candidate. It demands things that are our passions today. It demands that we have the courage to speak our minds, to make our voices heard among our friends and our communities, and ultimately to our elected leaders. It means seeking out information and analyzing. It means doing more than shaking your head about the gridlock and intransigence that prevents our leaders in Washington and elsewhere from seeking out the common ground that can allow our country to prosper. The values and the critical thinking skills you learned at Manor will help you move beyond the slogans and the predictable sound bites that pass through thoughtful political discourse on our cable television channels. It is too easy to shy away from this road. After all, people disagree about politics, and who wants to be disagreeable? But recall what we said about tolerance. Tolerance and understanding begins with seeing, hearing, and listening so that we can overcome fear. The challenges we face as a country are as much a product of fearing the motives and the goals of those with whom we disagree as they are about the disagreements themselves. I believe that open and informed discussion based on respect for our different views and a sense of our shared humanity can bring us to common ground. We may not achieve everything we aspire to, but we can move beyond the gridlock that the country faces today. Okay, I hear that voice in the back of the mind. Yeah, it says, I know what he's saying, but I don't really know enough about this stuff. Maybe I'm just not smart enough to have my opinion. And besides, there are people who live in this. I don't know. That's some bad news for you. That's what they do. The people already doing this are no smaller than you are. And they are perfectly happy to have one involved. Because when you stay away, their views and their ideas are heard louder and are more likely to be reflected in the decisions our political leaders make. And what's worse, those who are heard most forcefully often have a financial stake in the decisions that are made. Their views will be driven not by the values you and we hold dear, but economics, by their own money-making opportunities, at the expense of our values in many cases. As graduates of a values-based institution, you have a special duty to ensure that those values and not private monetary gain guide our political decisions. So yes, you do now face the challenge of finding work and building a life independent from your parents. But as young people becoming adults, I ask you to please find the time, the energy, and the courage to participate in our democracy and to ensure that decisions we make as a society truly reflect our shared humanity. I wish you great success in your lives, that you find rewarding jobs that engage you and allow you to prosper and find happiness. But through it all, I hope you are able to remember that you live in a community that thrives as prospers only because we decide to rise above our differences and recognize that we all journey in this life. Good night, God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Pettick. These are all words that all of us could be reminded of from time to time. Now, at this time, I would like to introduce Sister Mary Cecilia Jarosinski, President of Manor College, to announce the conferring of degrees, and Sally Michaelek, Executive Vice President and Dean of Academic Affairs, who will present the degree candidates. During the presentation, we ask that you refrain from any loud, vocal acknowledgments as a courtesy to each of our graduates, their family members, and guests. Each family would like to hear their loved one's name announced. Manor has a tradition of keeping quiet during the conferring of degrees. But we understand that some people may not be able to help themselves. I'm not talking about you little people over there. So what the parents and friends of Manor graduates do is the silent cheer. And if you really can't help yourself and you have to get really loud, all right, so that is how you may acknowledge your loved one. Sister Mary Cecilia.
I am delighted to congratulate you, the class of 2014. Make all of us at Manor College proud of your achievement as a person and in your program of study. By your graduation from Manor College, you have the vision, the excitement, the values, and the goals to make a positive impact on our world. Our world seems to be chaotic. Objectives seem to be unclear, values confused, order seems to emerge of its own accord. We hear people saying, what is this world coming to? Yes, it's true. Everything is changing and it's happening fast. And some people feel lost in the mix. Your work and the world is decisive What each of you do is important. We are not just passing through our world as uninterested persons. You and all human beings count, and you leave your mark on our world. Your college education calls for you to be leaders, the best version of your self-leadership, to make the relationship, the interdependence, all move to a new creation that makes our world better because of you. Think of the various types of leadership. Pope Francis, who kissed the face, was kicked and disfigured. Did he need to say anything? His action was power in the best meaning of the word. Then there is the Gates Foundation, with its goal to eradicate disease and take the action to vaccinate those in danger. That is power to change the world. Or the woman pediatrician who donated her kidney so that others would do the same. The power is in the action. Is Manor College asking too much of its graduates? I think not. The mission of Manor College, as quoted by our speaker, includes the statement, Manor believes that education heightens a person's self-awareness and his or her relationship to the world and to God. Note that Manor graduates are to be aware and in relationship to our world. It is this awareness that makes life worth living, turns our world into a new creation that happens to face love. Love is power that is unending, overcomes all obstacles, moves enemies into friends, forms the basis of all dialogue, and only seeks the good of everything and everyone. Now, Manor College asks you, go forward. Go forward with courage and awareness to move our world into this new entity with love as the base and forge an enduring relationship with all of creation. This is your call, not only as a Manor graduate, but as an authentic human being. You go with the prayers and good wishes of the Sisters of St. Francis of Grace, the Board of Trustees, the students, the faculty, and staff of Manor College. God's blessing be upon you and all of us. Manor College loves you, and so do I. And now is the moment that you're really looking for. And that's by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the Board of Education. I confer on the following men and women degrees of Associate in Arts, Associates in Science, Diplomas, Certificate with all the rights, privileges, and obligations thereupon is application. Now, guess who's going to come up and lead the church?
Every year we give a profile of the graduation class. And the profile of the class of 2014 is that it consists of 191 ecstatic graduates, 194 degrees and certificates will be conferred this evening. And you'll say, well, wait, there's a difference here. 3 graduates have elected and earned dual degrees, so they will be receiving 2 degrees instead of 1 this evening. The programs with the highest number of graduates are 43 graduates in the Allied Health Science and Transfer programs, 20 of which are in pre-nursing, 10 in pre-radiologic sciences, the rest scattered in the other majors within Allied Health Transfer. The second highest of 32 graduates are the veterinary technology students. And third highest are the 25 graduates in liberal arts, which consists of the liberal arts program, early childhood education, and psychology. An interesting fact is, many of you know that we have a special agreement with many four-year institutions called dual admission agreements. And under those agreements, our students at Manor, when they reach 30 credits, or up to 45 credits, can apply for admission to these four-year institutions and be accepted while they're still Manor students. As long as they graduate and fulfill the cues that these schools require in the program they seek, they are accepted as juniors even when they're freshmen, because they sign their letter of intent. From this class this evening, 42 graduates took advantage of the dual admission agreement. 31 are going to LaSalle University, 8 to Chestnut Hill, 2 to Holy Family, and 1 to Immaculata under the dual admission. So we're very proud of them in their endeavors. So that's a small peek at the graduation class. But now I am happy to present to Sister Mary Cecilia, our president, the candidates for graduation. You will come forward to receive your diploma as your name is called. I ask the guests and the graduates to refrain from applause until all the names have been called. Receiving an Associate in Arts. Samantha Aiken, Liberal Arts. Crystal Augustin, Liberal Arts. Tiana Geneva Latisse Verdi, Early Childhood Education, K to grade 4. Brittany Elizabeth Betts, Early Childhood Education, Pre-K to grade 4. Sharita S. Lowe, Liberal Arts. Michael Richard Ceramic, Liberal Arts. Mark T. Covell, Jr., Liberal Arts. Caitlin Coolin, Liberal Arts. Ayola Andena de Jesus, Psychology. Janae Dempsey, Liberal Arts. Susan T. Eamon, Early Childhood Education, Pre-K to grade 4. Lisa Fox, Liberal Arts. Bridget Gray, Early Childhood Education, Pre-K to grade 4. Kimberly Ann Hewitt, Early Childhood Education, Pre-K to grade 4. Jessica Lee Ibarra, Early Childhood Education, Pre-K to grade 4. Lakita Jackson, Early Childhood Education, Pre-K to Grade 4. Mark Jackson, Liberal Arts. Mary Jordan, Early Childhood Education, Pre-K to Grade 4. Dolores E. Kessler, Early Childhood Education, Pre-K to Grade 4. Aubrey Lee King, Early Childhood Education, Pre-K to Grade 4. Christopher Lawhorn, Liberal Arts. Marie Esther LaCour, Liberal Arts. Billy Lee, Liberal Arts. Tanya Yvette Logan, Early Childhood Education, Pre-K to Grade 4. Aurora Mattern, Early Childhood Education, Pre-K to Grade 4. Rachel Mann, Early Childhood Education, Pre-K to Grade 4. Jude Mark Morgan III, Liberal Arts. Denise Newton, Liberal Arts. Don Nguyen, Psychology. Charmaine Northington, Psychology. Nidra S. Nunez, Liberal Arts. Gia Papa Giorgio, Liberal Arts. Stephanie Michelle Pombo, Liberal Arts. Joyce Randolph, Liberal Arts. Kelly V. Reeves, Liberal Arts. Shaka Salem, Early Childhood Education, Pre-K to Grade 4. Christopher D. Saxon, Liberal Arts Communications. Chalet Smith Bailey, Psychology. Antoinette Renee Stamps, Liberal Arts. Melanie Elizabeth Sweeney, Liberal Arts. Annie Varghese, Early Childhood Education, Pre-K to Grade 4. Lorna Wardlaw, Early Childhood Education, Pre-K to Grade 4. Tynesha Witzik, Liberal Arts. Jessica N. Whittaker, Liberal Arts. Receiving an Associate in Science degree. Ani Anaswa. Allied Health Science Transfer, Pre-Pharmacy. Kristen Marie Anderson. Allied Health Science Transfer, Pre-Radiologic Sciences. James Anoble, Business Administration. Carmela Bayon, Allied Health Science Transfer, Pre-Nursing. Dara Adria Bellingham, Dental Hygiene. Marissa Nicole Bologna, Allied Health Science Transfer, Pre-Radiologic Sciences. Andrew Buchanan, Allied Health Science Transfer, Pre-Cytotechnology. Armando Blancafor Rudon Jr., Information Systems and Technology. Dancella Kaushi, Paralegal. Stephen Cook, Allied Health Science Transfer, Pre-Radiologic Sciences. Christina Ashley Crawford, Management. Katerina Elise Cruz, Paralegal. Dana Lynn Dempsey, Allied Health Science Transfer, Pre-Nursing. Nikita Durant, Allied Health Science Transfer, Pre-Nursing. Laura B. Eichwald, Business Administration. Nancy Faber, Allied Health Science Transfer, Pre-Radiologic Sciences. Lisa Ferensky, Allied Health Science Transfer, Pre-Nursing. Stacy L. Gagliana, Accounting. Franklin G. Gavis, Business Administration. Thomas Gauss, Jr., Paralegal. Jamil Isam Gordon, Business Administration. Amanda Lynn Graff, Dental Hygiene. Alexis P. Greek, Veterinary Technology. Katie A. Busacki, Dental Hygiene. Jessica Nicole Rizetikowski, Expanded Functions Dental Assistant. Harry Walton Genst, Allied Health Science Transfer, Pre-Sciences. Shannon Hay, Accounting. Kayla Height, Veterinary Technology. Lauren Elizabeth Pope, Dental Hygiene. Susan Isham, Allied Health Science Transfer, Pre-Nursing. Antoinette Tyra Johnson, Expanded Functions Dental Assistant. Carmel Kaya, Allied Health Science Transfer, Pre-Pharmacy. Caitlin C. Giveni, Dental Hygiene. Danielle N. Kell, Allied Health Science Transfer, Pre-Nursing. Matthew King, Business Administration. Allison J. Knight, Paralegal. Amy LaPlante, Veterinary Technology. Mark J. Leonard, Allied Health Science Transfer, pre-nursing. Kelly A. Logan, Allied Health Science Transfer, pre-nursing. Andrea Lopez Pinzon, accounting. Dominique Lyles, Allied Health Science Transfer, pre-nursing. Jessica Mills, Allied Health Science Transfer, pre-radiologic sciences. Carolyn Muller, Allied Health Science Transfer, pre-nursing. Richard Muller, Information Systems and Technology, being accepted posthumously by his sister, Heather Muller. David William North, paralegal. Michelle Alexandra Ocasio, Allied Health Science Transfer, pre-nursing. Francesca Angelique Ortiz, Allied Health Science Transfer, pre-nursing. Alina Otzipian, dental hygiene. Courtney E. Callum, dental hygiene. Katie T. Pullitz, veterinary technology. Mark Isaac Perez, business administration. Tatiana Petroscience, dental hygiene. Maurice Pritchett, information systems and technology. Adelaida Quintanilla, paralegal. Alicia Cherie Riles, expanded functions dental assisting. Rocio E. Rodriguez, Allied Health Science Transfer, pre-radiologic sciences. Hannah J. Roper, veterinary technology. Malika Tazan Royal, paralegal. Vera Sedova, Allied Health Science Transfer, dual degrees in pre-pharmacy and pre-physical therapy. Alba Sanchez, veterinary technology. Jean Gergens Salmon, Allied Health Science Transfer, Alexandra Ariel Scarborough, Allied Health Science Transfer, pre-radiologic sciences. Brittany Marie Schilk, veterinary technology. Justina M. Seternus, veterinary technology. Natalia Shakhmatova, Allied Health Science transfer, dual degrees in pre-pharmacy and pre-physical therapy. Geraldine Smith, paralegal. Tanisha Taylor, business administration. Marcus Thomas, management. Jennifer Teresa Thompson, veterinary technology. Lindsay Marie Toscano, veterinary technology. Marcella Boyniku, Allied Health Science transfer, pre-medicine. Irene Gorolenko, dental hygiene. Anise Nicole Ward, information systems and technology. Linda A. Wilkins, paralegal. Kalila Williams Sanders, Allied Health Science transfer, pre-nursing. Elizabeth Wilson, expanded functions dental assistant. Lauren Wilson, veterinary technology. Cynthia Mary Linfelder, information systems and technology. Christina Ann Yako, paralegal. Elena Yanovskaya, management. Terry Israel, management. Oksana Zitzer, accounting. Receiving a certificate, Joan Ayala, legal nurse consultant. Graduates, please stand and transfer your tassels. Let's
member of the Manor Board of Trustees, who will conduct the Alumni Pledge.
As a Manor College Board of Trustee member, I offer you my congratulations. Now, as graduates of the class of 2014, I invite you, as your first official act as Manor College alumni, to join with me in reciting the Alumni Pledge. So please stand and repeat after me.
We, the class of 2014, do swear to uphold the tradition and good name of Manor College. To honor Manor by our achievements. To aid and support her growth and prosperity. To remember as part of her past. We ensure Manor's future. This, we the class of 2014 do pledge. Good luck, all.
Thank you, Ms. Bowling. Now, there are among the graduates of the class of 2014 a number of students who, through perseverance, diligence, and faithfulness to their studies, have achieved a degree of excellence worthy of public recognition. I'm pleased once again to invite Dean Michael to the podium to recognize these students by name and present them for awards. Mr. Mazur will confer the awards. Dean Michael.
College is pleased to present the Honors Curriculum Award for graduates achieving a cumulative average of honors excellence higher than a 4.0. We do that by taking honors classes, which are weighted heavier. Will the following students please come on stage for your awards? Elena Llamas Zavaya. The Academic Excellence Award for graduates achieving a high cumulative honors average of 4.0. Will the following students also please come on stage for your awards? Susan T. Eman. Kimberly Ann Hewitt. Mary Jordan. Jessica Mills. Linda A. Wilkins. And Oksana Zinser. Academic Excellence Award for cumulative averages from 3.99 to 3.90. Will the following students please rise and remain standing as your name is called? Tatiana Petrosyan, Priscilla Onyeko, Amy LaPlante, Natalia Shakmatova, Stephen Cook, Shannon Hay. Congratulations. Today, Manor College proudly recognizes scholastic achievement in the Dean's List. A full-time student must carry a minimum of 12 credit hours, academic credit hours per semester with a GPA of 3.5 or higher. The following students merited placement on the Dean's List for 4 or more full-time semesters. So also please rise and remain standing as your name is called. Andrew Buchanan, Armando Blancaflor Mulligan Jr., Caitlin Pullen, Stacy L. Gagliano, Jamil Isom Gordon, Katie A. Risafi, Amy LaPlante, Vera Sadova, Natalia Shakmatova, Priscilla Onyeko, Elena Yakovskaya. Congratulations, guys. Following degree students merited placement on the Dean's List for 3 full-time semesters. Please rise and remain standing as your name is called. Stephen Cook, Katerina Elise Cruz, Kayla Height, Danielle Kell, Brittany Marie Schultz. Congratulations. Part-time students also are eligible for the Dean's List each semester after they have accumulated 12 Manor credits and have a GPA as well as 3.5 or higher each semester. The following degree students were on the part-time Dean's List 6 or more semesters, so please rise as your names are called and remain standing. Kimberly Ann Hewitt, Andrea Lopez Newsom, Linda A. Wilkins, and Oksana Zitzer. Congratulations. In national recognition of outstanding merit and accomplishments of students at Manor College, the following graduates have been elected to who's who among students in the American junior colleges. Please rise and remain standing as your names are called. Andrew Buchanan, Stephen Cook, Susan T. Eman, Kimberly Ann Hewitt, Mary Jordan, Amy LaPlante, Jessica Mills, Malika Tazan Royal, Natalia Shakmatova, Annie Varghese, Priscilla Onyeko, Linda A. Rogans, Elena Yalovskaya, Oksana Zitzer. Congratulations. congratulate all of our graduates for their achievements and wish them continued success and God's blessings in their future endeavors. So congratulations, graduates, 2014. We're now moving to the Faculty and Staff Award function. The 2014 Dean's Teaching Excellence Award for excellence in exemplary chemistry pedagogy, planning the first adult learning pre-nursing program, Allied Health Science Transfer Program Director, and many other accomplishments is received tonight by Dr. Julie Seneca. The Trustee Award annually recognizes one full-time faculty member and one full-time staff member who best exemplify the spirit and values of Manor College. The Trustee Award is being funded by former Chairman of Manor College Board of Trustees, Mr. Young Chin, and will be presented by Mr. Leonard Mazer, Chairman of Manor College Board of Trustees. The 2014 Trustee Faculty Award recipient is Michael Landis, Senior Associate. Trustee Staff Award recipient is Officer John Matson, Assistant Director. Adjunct Faculty Award, that's a part-time faculty member, annually recognizes an adjunct faculty member who best exemplifies the spirit and the values of Manor College. The award is being funded by the family of the former board chairman, Mr. Stephen Semenak. The 2014 recipient is Leslie Weinfeld, adjunct professor of mathematics in the Allied Health Science Transfer Division. And to be recognized by the graduates. Faculty. Once again, I would like to congratulate all of our graduates. I would like to thank all of the guests and family members who visited our campus today. Have a safe and great celebration. God bless you all. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Don't leave yet, please. We have another speaker, only 45 minutes. right away with the razor. I do have a question though. How come John Madsen is the only one who had to work tonight? All right, at this time, I would ask everyone to please rise. The closing prayer will be offered by Brother Joseph Berg, a member of the Manor College Board of Trustees.
Let's take a moment and remember that we are in God's presence. On this joyous occasion, we ask God's continued guidance to us at Manor College. Continue to show us how to love one another, inspire us to teach and counsel, and to serve side by side. At this transitional moment, we ask God to bless our new graduates. We know there are times of doubt and worry. We know there are times of struggle, and ultimately, know their successes. Be with them as they move confidently into the future, and keep them always within the Manor College family. We thank you, God, also for your generosity to all of their loved ones, family, and friends who supported them with time, encouragement, and resources during their years at Manor. In the Old Testament, the psalmist invites us to move from strength to strength. Inspire us, Lord, to excel in fulfilling our mission and keeping our students and new graduates safe and by our sides. As we move forward together, strength to strength, side by side. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Brother Berg. Please remain standing for the recession. Drive safely and have a good